The Rachel Maddow Show bids a fond farewell tonight to the Chrysler PT Cruiser, the Chrysler Aspen, and the Dodge Durango, a car I have never owned, but one I have rented occasionally simply for the pleasure of deliberately mispronouncing the name of the vehicle as Durango. As Chrysler and GM make their case to the government that they need more bailout money, we now know that those three models will join four others Chrysler has already eliminated during the auto industry's current cash crisis. GM is not just cutting models, they're cutting entire brands. Chevrolet, Cadillac, GMC, and Buick will survive for now, but Pontiac, part of the car business since 1932, will have a smaller role if it makes it at all. And Saturn, developed just 19 years ago to compete with small Japanese cars, Saturn will be phased out by 2012. I had a Saturn once. It had a really, really loud turn signal. The companies also say they will need billions more in government money if they are to survive. GM is seeking more than $16 billion. Chrysler is seeking $5 billion. In return, the car companies say they will make major cuts. GM says it will cut, get this, 47,000 jobs around the world. 47,000. They say they will close 5 more plants in North America. Chrysler said they'll cut 3,000 jobs. Wow. Last fall, there was a big debate in this country about just how bad things really were for the car companies. Now it seems there can be no doubt. Durango. We are in danger of having a core American manufacturing industry just go away. Here now is Jonathan Linkove, who is managing editor for Cars at Consumer Reports magazine. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
My pleasure, Rachel.
There's no more PT Cruiser, no more Chrysler Aspen, no more Dodge Durango.
Nope.
From your perspective, what's the best car that's no longer going to exist because of this crunch?
Oh, goodness. Well, the big thing that we saw come across the wire today is that General Motors has now said they're not going to produce a lot of their performance models. So you're looking at CTS-V, you're looking at the SS Cobalt, the HHR SS. So these are enthusiast models that really kind of keep the flames going for some of the flag wavers.
Wait, hold on,
I
have to stop you. The abbreviation CTS-V, that's the supercar Cadillac one?
Yes, exactly. It's a Cadillac CTS-V. It's a 550 horsepower V8 sedan. It competes with the M5 from BMW. And, they're really cutting through everything. A lot of performance, but they're also getting rid of the trucks. They're going to focus only on fuel economy is what they say.
Focusing on getting rid of some trucks, one of the ways that the big three have competed is by the sales of their large vehicles, their SUVs and their trucks. Right. Did those succeed because they were very good quality trucks, very good quality large vehicles, or because it just took the import manufacturers a long time to catch up with the fact that Americans wanted giant things to drive?
Well, what happened was the American manufacturers really put their money, as we all know, into trucks. And some of them were good. The trailing end of the previous generation Silverado was good, but they had models like the Trailblazer, which were just horrible reliability in our Consumer Reports survey. And the problem with General Motors isn't that they were building vehicles people don't want, because tastes change like, fickle in a minute. However, they didn't have any alternatives. They didn't have the small cars. Chrysler doesn't have the small cars. So when there was the cash cow going away and the cash cow went into the barn and closed the door, there's nothing left for them, and that's why we're seeing a huge stumble from them.
At Consumer Reports, when you look at customer satisfaction, when you look at vehicle quality, what are some of the American winners? What are some of the American cars that actually do score very well, even when compared against imports?
Well, actually, all of the Ford lineup, almost, except for a couple of the Explorers, have done extremely well. They're very reliable, and the Fusion model, for example, is a sedan, that's on par with Honda and Toyota. So you can get very good, reliable American cars. General Motors, they've been a little hit and miss. They launch a car very well. The Outlook, the Saturn Outlook launched well. Then the Chevrolet Malibu launched well. But the second year of the Outlook had poor reliability. So General Motors tends to focus on something, they launch it well, then they change their focus and go somewhere else. Chrysler, there's really nothing in the portfolio, according to what we can see. Product that they have, we don't recommend anything, whether it's for reliability or performance. We haven't seen anything coming down the pipeline that looks like it's going to be any kind of saver for them.
Jonathan Linkove, one last quick question. Do you think that GM, Chrysler, and or Ford will be around a year from now?
I do think it's in the best interest of the country really not to let them fail, because it's not just the employees there, but it's the trucking company, it's the people at the dealerships, it's the suppliers. If they fail, the suppliers will have problems, and they support Toyota, Honda, Hyundai, Ford, so it's a big trickle effect.
Jonathan Linkove, who covers the auto industry at Consumer Reports magazine. Great to have you on the show tonight. We'd love to have you back. Thanks, Jonathan.
My pleasure.